my grandpa die and I couldn't stop smiling. I was in 4th grade when Dad and I moved into Grandpa's house after Mom died. Dad worked nights at the factory, slept during the day. Before my first day of school there, he sat me down. The most important rule in this house: don't wake me unless it's on fire. I need my sleep to keep this job. And Grandpa never let me forget it. I'd try to walk to Dad's room and Grandpa would block my path. Your dad needs his sleep. Come watch TV with Grandpa. It wasn't an invitation. It was a door closing. Afternoons became a minefield. He'd pat the couch beside him, shift closer when I sat away, let his hand rest on my knee while we watched cartoons. Sometimes his hand would move higher. I'd jump up and try to run to Dad's room, but Grandpa would block my path. Don't wake your dad, he'd say, his voice calm, like nothing was wrong. So I'd turn back, swallow the words I wanted to scream. Who would believe a kid over a grown-up anyway? I hated him. The dress incident happened on a Tuesday. He called the school, said I was sick, brought me home early. From the hall closet, he pulled out a pink dress from when I was 6, lace yellowed, bow crushed. Your grandma loved this one, he said. Put it on so we can take pictures. I backed away. It doesn't fit. He caught my wrist, made me stand there under bright lights while he took photo after photo. Smile pretty. I stood there hollow, imagined 100 ways to make him stop, but I was small and he was big, so I waited. Here's what he didn't know about 4th graders. We learned fast. That month in Girl Scouts, Mrs. Peterson taught us CPR, stroke symptoms, heart attack signs, how minutes can mean the difference between life and death. She explained how brain cells start dying after 4 minutes without oxygen. After 10, even a rescue leaves a person changed. It was meant to make us brave in a crisis. For me, it became something else when 3 weeks later I was doing math homework when I heard it. That wet, choking sound from Grandpa's recliner. I looked up. He was bent forward, one hand to his stomach, his face draining gray. He grabbed the trash can and vomited. The sour smell hit the room instantly. His hand clutched his chest, fingers tugging at his shirt, breathing shallow. His left arm slid limp over the armrest. His eyes found mine. Get, Dad, he wheezed. Mrs. Peterson's voice came back to me. Chest pain, difficulty breathing, gray pallor, pain down the arm, classic heart attack. The right thing was to call 911, start compressions if he stopped breathing. That's what good girls do. Instead, I walked slowly to Dad's door, knocked softly, barely tapping really, then went back to the living room. He won't wake up, I told Grandpa. His eyes went wider. He reached for the phone on the side table. I stepped over and slid it just out of reach. You told me never to wake Dad, I said quietly. Then I smiled at him, the same creepy smile he'd given me when Dad wasn't looking. He tried to speak again. Only broken sounds came out. The power in the room shifted completely. He wasn't the man blocking doorways anymore, just an old man whose heart was failing. And I was the only one who knew exactly how much time he had. I counted. 1 minute, 2. The vein in his forehead bulged. 3 minutes. His movements got frantic, then sloppy. 4 minutes. Mrs. Peterson had shown us with 4 raised fingers, the start of real brain damage. 5 minutes. His eyes rolled white. 6 minutes. I knocked on Dad's door again, just a little harder. Dad, I called softly, knowing he wouldn't hear through his earbuds. I returned to watch. Grandpa's chest rose and fell like a weak accordion. 7 minutes. His head lolled, his mouth slackened. 8 minutes. I walked back and knocked normally, the way I would if I needed lunch money. Waited for him to groan and tell me to go away like always. Dad, I think Grandpa fell asleep in his chair, but he's making weird noises, I said through the door. Kept my voice casual. Sophie, let him sleep. Dad mumbled back, clearly annoyed. Okay, I said. I went back to the couch and picked up my math book, worked through 3 more problems while Grandpa's breathing got shallower and shallower, then it stopped completely. I finished my homework, made a sandwich, stepping around his chair to get to the fridge, watched TV while Grandpa sat there slumped over, his hand hanging off the armrest. 1 hour later, I heard Dad's bedroom door open. He shuffled out in his work clothes, heading for the bathroom. I kept my eyes on the TV screen, pulling my knees up to my chest. Then I heard it. Dad? Dad? His voice went high and panicked. He rushed over to Grandpa's chair and pressed 2 fingers to his neck, checking for a pulse. Sophie, call 911. Now. I looked up from the TV like I'd just noticed. Picked up the phone, dialed. Dad started compressions while I talked to the dispatcher, his hands pumping Grandpa's chest over and over. He was sweating, breathing hard. The paramedics came through the door minutes later, boots thudding across the floor. They took over from Dad, worked over Grandpa with equipment and quick movements. One of them checked his watch, looked at his partner, and shook his head. At the hospital, the doctor talked to Dad. It was a massive cardiac arrest. Given how long it had been, there was nothing anyone could have done. These things happen fast. By the time someone notices, it's often too late. Dad turned to me in the waiting room, his face gray with guilt. Why didn't you wake me when you heard the noises? I had to wipe the small smile off my face before answering. You told me to never wake you up unless the house is on fire.